The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
This morning, and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Friday, the 23rd of June, 2023, and that means it's a Sports Friday with Erin on the Clock with Erin, Greene. Waiting for Mr. Sawyer to join us. I'm also waiting for a representative from the BAAAs to join us to tell us everything we need to know about the upcoming B3A's Junior and Senior National Championships 2023. It is an exciting time in the athletics world. It's rolling right into the Nationals are the Bahama Games Golden Jubilee edition. What a good time we're going to have. So let me start by getting into our Sand Dollar news. This Friday, today, June the 23rd, Central Bank representatives will be giving out Sand Dollars at Quality Supermarket, Cable Beach. Show your Sand Dollar-enabled digital wallet at the door and receive $20. Spend $18 or more in Sand Dollars at the register and get $5 back when you leave the store. This is limited to the first 100 customers to show us their Sand Dollar-enabled wallet at each location. One top-up per person, so as many people as possible can experience the Sand Dollar. For more details, visit any of the Sand Dollar social media pages or call 302-9880. That's 302-9880. Oh, guys, we are just about to get into our Sand Dollar on the Clock trivia giveaway. Every day for the next 4 months, we will be giving away Sand Dollars to digital wallet holders. Every day, 2 winners will receive $30 in Sand Dollars. To be eligible to win wallet and answer the trivia question correctly, when you call in, give the producer your name and number, digital wallet provider, and your digital wallet address to transfer the funds to your digital wallet if you get the right answer. Listeners are restricted to one transfer for the duration of the competition. You can only win once. Now, to get a Sand Dollar digital wallet, all you need to do is go to the Apple Play Store and the Google Play Store and search Sand Dollar app, Sand Dollar apps. There are 7 digital wallet providers. There is Cash and Go, Island Pay, Mobile Assist, Sun Cash, Canoe, Omni Financial, I think Money Max. I think that's another one. Anyway, you go online, you search Sand Dollar digital wallet apps. You will find a choice. You select which one you like the most and then click install. And then you're ready to call the show and participate in our Sand Dollar giveaway. So let me give you the numbers to call, and then I'm going to throw the first question out for the day. Numbers to call today are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and 242-300-5720. 242-300-5720 is our new toll-free number for people living in the Bahamas, but not in New Providence. So the first question of the day, what Major League Baseball team does Jazz Chisholm Jr. play for? What MLB team does Jazz Chisholm play for? That's the first question to call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Also, a little quick housekeeping. The next Hannah Hasty Times Family Association General Meeting is this upcoming Wednesday, the 28th at 6 p.m. at St. John's College. That's Wednesday, the 28th at 6 p.m. at St. John's College, the Hasty Hannah Tynes Family Association General Meeting for June. I saw you there, caller. Call right back, especially if you get the trivia answer, or if you want to talk about the B3As, you want to talk about the Bahama Games, you want to talk about the Nationals, the NBA draft is upon us. There are rumors of big trades, and some of them affect our very own Bahamian players, DeAndre Ayton, Buddy Hield, Kai Jones, and as my learned trivia question provider or winner this week or last week said Klay Thompson. Last week, Friday, Klay Thompson, Bahamian by blood, Bahamian in spirit. So, let's start with the Bahama Games. The Bahamas Golden Jubilee Game next month, July 6th through the 14th. This year's theme for the 6th edition is Challenges are Chances for the Courageous. Let me tell you who the teams are. I'm still trying to figure out who all of the influencers are, but here are the teams. Decide who you pulling for. As for me, I am a real Chickchani because I pull in for multiple teams this year. The top of the list, producer, I see we got a call there. At the top of the list, we got the Abaco Survivors. Then we got the Andros Chickchanis. Then we've got the Bimini and Berry Islands Marlins. We've got the Columbus Isles Arawaks, and that's Cat Island, San Sal, and Rum Key. We've got the Eleuthera Adventurers. We've got the Exuma and Ragged Islands Navigators, the Grand Bahama Lucayans, the Long Island Sheep Runners, the Michael Flamingos, and the New Providence Buccaneers. Those are the 10 teams competing in the Golden Jubilee Games this year. Good morning, caller. You're on the clock.
Good morning, Erin. How you doing on this beautiful Friday, man?
Look here, I am great. Let me tell you how good I am. 4 days, I done touch, sorted, managed, processed like over 400, 500 mangoes.
That's awesome.
I am in hog heaven.
I hope you process. I hope you were parading them and putting them in the deep freeze for the rest of the year.
How you know that? How you know?
I'm doing the same thing myself. But on another note, with the Bahama Games, yeah. I am happy that we brought the Bahama Games back for the 50th anniversary, or whatever you want to call it. I don't believe we're independent, but I say anniversary. Mm-hmm. They should have put in flag football. I think that would have been a little cherry on the top if they did introduce flag football for this one.
Yeah.
Seeing that the Bahamas now is the first country in the Caribbean to be doing the NFL flag football
league.
Seeing that we joined them or they came over here, I think we should have allowed flag football to be in the Bahama Games. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
I'll listen.
I think it would have been a great addition to the exhibition sports. They're going to have go-karting, the small motor cars, and they're going to have rowing. I like to call it rowing. I like to call it rowing myself, right? As an exhibition game. You absolutely right. Flag football should have been, at the very least, an exhibition game. And I think we got a flag football championship to talk about in the news today, right? I can pull that story up. I think it is in the Tribune today. Final four teams target the flag football title. We could have had the final four play an exhibition game in both the men's and the women's competition for the Bahama Games. And that's how you do it. That's how you grow sports. That's how you introduce them to the general culture. And this right here, flag football, is a great sport, a great example, if that's the right word, because we love football. We don't have a league, a proper league yet, but flag football has grown by leaps and bounds, and it is exciting as regular American football without all of the injury, without all of the rough, hard hitting. I think that would have been a great idea. I am trying to find balance in my conversation about the Bahama Games because I want to celebrate it and I want to be a part of making it accessible to all Bahamians that the same feel compelled to offer critique where critique is necessary. And I guess the most important critique is this. As soon as the 6th edition Bahama Games ends, you need to have your committees appointed to begin planning for the 7th edition. And we say, but Erin, everybody got to take a break. No. You start writing notes and preparing your thoughts, your assessments, and your new policies while you're in the thick of it, while you're watching the 6th edition unfold real time. You should be constantly making notes and assessments on how to improve, how to expand, how to grow, how to include more in the next games. There are lots of ways that we could expand this games. I was even thinking of a family tree competition where over the next 3 years, we establish a genealogical association. I think we may have one, but we grow it or we establish it. We assist people in creating family trees, connecting to their family trees. And then each island will compete and we express it, right, by having people link arms across family trees. And then we capture it in photos so we could document, right, the lineages, the connections between us. All right. Yes, baseball nationals also began this morning. Guardian's very own Sheldon Longley is currently coaching, I think, a team. I wanted him to be here with me as well to talk about the nationals. But he have an even more important duty. The young people are looking up to him. And there's a lot more local sports news. But I think my guest has arrived. And I'm going to ask him to come into the studio. And we're going to get right into the hottest sports news right now. The B3A's Junior and Senior Nationals, the 2023 championships. Push the door, former. Yeah, I fast. I don't want to slip out while you're not looking. Good morning, sir. Joining me today is Mr. Dramico Archer, the current president of the B3As. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Erin. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Happy Friday. Not as happy as last Friday, because last Friday was
a holiday.
It was a Friday before. It should have been Friday before Father's Day.
That's correct. That's
right. So it was a very happy time.
Happy
in the country.
belated Father's Day for all of the fathers, biological and surrogate.
Yeah, and I think the Bahamas provided the best gift for Bahamian fathers. We have had last week and this week weekends full of sports, full of sporting activities, sports to watch, sports to participate in.
Erin, I thought you were going to be funny and said that we had the best Fridays and Saturdays where we had torrents of rain so all the crap could come out.
Look here, and the mangoes. And the soursop that love the water. Hold on, and the cherries. And the last of the scarlet plum.
I haven't seen much cherries, though.
No?
No.
People are cutting down cherry trees without really thinking about it.
We have a cherry tree in our yard. I was surprised maybe about a month ago we bought some cherries.
Yeah.
But I just haven't seen many cherry trees. They make the best juice.
Absolutely. Packed with vitamin C.
Oh, man.
In fact, I want to say to all my local fruit vendors, you know what it just made me think of? For the Bahama Games, we need to make sure that these athletes have the best snacks, the best food available, and that's local produce.
Yes. It starts with a kind of seminar and training because parents, it starts at the home.
Yeah.
And when the kids say, "Mommy, I want Kentucky," "Mommy, I want Wendy's or McDonald's or Pizza Hut," that's what they get.
Yeah.
But it's the worst kind of food for athletes. I think that's what makes I think the Jamaican product a little different from ours.
Yeah.
Because I think that they still eat a lot of homegrown foods, organic foods.
Yeah, they have a lot of cultural
Yes.
elements that provide an environment that pushes out more
Yes.
and more, the prolific production of athletes. And you know what a part of it is? The hills and the gullies and the distances that students have to navigate to
Yeah,
get to
you know.
school. Access to local agriculture and food sources. And I want, when our next national team goes out to an athletics competition, I need a logo that says "Powered by Ganep."
I love it.
Powered by Hog Plum, because that's what you saying is powered by Yellow Yam.
Yes.
Right, and that's become noted
It's the
across the
yam.
globe. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the B3As, the nationals begin Wednesday the 5th, run through Friday the 7th.
That's correct.
Now, let's start at the back of my list of questions. Will this create a conflict? Because I'm from Andros to Chickchanis, I want the best runners to compete for the Bahama Games, but am I at risk of having the best runners actually competing in the nationals, Bahama Games?
Well, Erin, I will not fleece you.
Yeah.
I will tell you the God's truth. Our priority is to field the best Bahamian team to compete against the world.
Because these are qualifiers as well, right?
This is a qualifying
Yeah.
event for our most prestigious junior championships, as well as the intermediary championships. And when I say intermediary, that age group that transitions from university to professional careers, the under-23 championship is really focused on that.
Okay.
And then, of course, for our elite athletes, they're going to be moving on to the World Championships in Budapest.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the tail end of the Bahamas Games, many of our senior athletes would be going off to the Diamond League to make their money.
Yeah.
And it is only after, I think, 2 days after the Bahamas Games will our athletes be moving on to the NACAC under-18, under-23 championships.
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
it is a massive conflict, one that we are aware of. But as I've indicated before, the Bahamas Games, from my point of view, should be a games that's focused on the youth and the development program, aspects of our program, and not necessarily a showcase of our senior athletes.
Okay.
It's a discovery event. And I think that would have been my aim as we soldiered on through the Bahamas Games. But
Okay.
of course, that may not necessarily be the popular school of thought.
I see what is perceived as conflict, but I see the potential, right?
Yeah.
Like the potential energy that's now stored in that space, right?
Correct.
And this is great. I'm a little jealous with your position that the Bahama Games should be developing athletes, right?
Yes.
As I can call myself a senior now, right? If I hadn't broken my foot 10 weeks ago, I may have tried a
You
thing.
may have tried.
I may have tried a thing.
So I put you in a very specific category.
Yeah. That's okay. I like that category. There's only 7 of us in there, and I'm bound to win a medal.
That's right.
Now, so we're going to have some of our international stars competing as well, right? In the nationals.
Absolutely.
I saw Stevie Gardner on a flyer on the B3A's Facebook page. He's
Yes.
coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And then I see this article in yesterday's Guardian, Strawn ready for the challenge from Charlton.
There you go.
I think that's going to be some of the most exciting competition at the nationals.
I think when you look at our nationals, this will be a coming out party for a lot of our junior athletes that are emerging to the senior ranks. We will have Terrence Jones there.
Yeah.
Remember, Terrence Jones was, oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it was in the Cayman Islands when he won the 400 meters. He's now gone down to the 100 meters and was one of the contenders at the NCAA championships. He ran 9.92 seconds this year. breaking the 10-second barrier. And he's being headhunted to be an elite professional athlete. We have the Wanye McCoy,
Yeah.
who is also going to be challenging the 100 meters.
Yeah.
We now have a stable of young male sprinters that we have not seen in decades.
Now, just stick a pin right there.
Yeah.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, I think in conjunction with the B3As,
Yes.
is hosting a sprints and jumps training camp.
We will have 2 separate camps.
Okay.
One camp will be for jumps and middle distance.
Okay.
And so we have ongoing programs that will stimulate the interest of young people and young kids in our
Absolutely.
sport.
Now, I want to stick another pin. 3 weeks ago, I saw the most amazing thing in a long jump competition. I saw an athlete introduce a new long jump technique
Interesting.
where he actually flipped, like he catapulted, used his hands to touch the board. Qualified. It was a good jump. They didn't disqualify him for the technical aspects of touching the board, right? I'm sure they had to go back and post jump to make an assessment. I haven't found the story again yet.
What was his distance?
It was impressive. I mean,
Is that right?
I've seen Bahamians jump to conclusions. It was impressive.
It's interesting to see that the rule doesn't speak to the hand and not the foot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And so Stevie's going to be there. Charlton
Stevie will be there.
Strawn will be
Anthea
there.
will be there.
And you've mentioned names that we have talked about repeatedly
Yeah.
through the year of sports broadcasting. Are there any athletes that we may not have heard about yet that we need to keep our eye on that may do something as spectacular as that catapult long jump?
Let me tell you, my eyes have been on this athlete for many years, and I think that at the final year of her collegiate career, she has really blossomed into the athlete that I always saw her to be becoming, and that is Charisma Taylor.
All right.
Charisma Taylor packs a punch as big as any triple jump in the world. She is an amazing hurdler. She can long jump, and so there's competition between Charisma Taylor and the veteran Tamara Myers in the triple jump.
All right.
And so that's going to be an exciting event. And then, of course, we have Laquan Nairn, who is also a qualifier in the long jump. And I expect for him to be making leaps and bounds in that event over the national championships. We're also going to be attempting to entrench ourselves in the women's 4x1. We are already a qualifier for the World Championships.
For the women's 4x1?
Women's 4x1. And so we want to make sure
You know what that means, right?
Tell
Yeah.
me.
We may just have ourselves another Golden Girls team in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next
we do.
year, I'm
what I
expecting
say.
the Bahamas to be a major contender. Major contender. You have Devon Charlton, who is an outstanding sprinter. She'll be competing as well at the Nationals. Her sister, Anthea Charlton, what a wonderful story.
Yeah.
We will also see the comeback of Shawnee Miller. She's just had a baby
Now, Shawnee said that she's put the 4 behind her and she's focusing on the 2?
on the sprints.
Yeah.
And so if she's a sprinter, she is a major contender for the women's 4x1.
Right, yeah.
And you have the return of Anthony Strawn.
Yeah.
And then Tania will also be in the mix.
Oh, this is
A
exciting.
team that perhaps better than the Golden Girls.
And ladies, I commit myself to y'all ladies, 4x1 team. I'm gonna start training right now, just in case you need a
An
7.
alternate.
You need a 7th reserve. I can do my work. I can put it in. I can bring him in.
man.
Yeah.
I
If
love
you could
this.
run in the first round and,
Yeah.
at least be able to hold the medal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm hoping that I could be the rabbit for training that they have to chase.
Yes.
To catch. Yeah, that's gonna be me. Fast.
I have one problem with Remigo being here today, One
What's
problem.
that?
He in my seat.
There you go. You're absolutely
Right on time.
You came after
on
me.
Which is right
Right
on
on
time.
time.
Well, this is the seat that track and field is accustomed to sitting at.
Now, this is a good
Hand
point
table.
here.
All right, good stuff.
This is a good point right here.
What's going on, Rico?
Because the B3As needs its own media space.
Absolutely.
You need not just a regular spot on the national media, but you need a podcast, something that broadcasts every day, and particularly young athletes and parents can tune into so that they could stay connected to the community as a part of maintaining the personal discipline and required for this training in this space. Because we don't have camps, right? Because we don't take 100 children and put them in a camp for 6 months, charter school for athletes, maintaining that connectivity and that headspace where I'm not with you, I'm not eating with you, but I know what you eating because I eating the same thing because we following the same dietary regime. A space like that, I think, is extremely important for growing the sport and the athletes.
Erin, you're in the spirit. You're in
man.
the spirit.
Don't mind to tell these people.
Something to make it.
I tell you.
Something to make it.
Here's what we have been trying to do. I think that you can even see it. That we're trying to change the culture of our sport, bringing the community much closer to it.
Yeah, man.
Because I think that track and field touches and concerns every one of us. We all have friends or family members who've been involved at one level or another in track and field.
And we always just used to see the finished product.
You always see only most
Always,
people only see the
right.
finished product. We're trying to create an ecosystem where we create something what we call a marketing agency, where we have sports writers, we have podcasters who can our sport every day.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one way of people beginning to follow. It's one way of marketing our sport very differently. And it's another opportunity for us to bring corporate community closer to track and field. We are seen as a grassroots movement, and it's only sexy when you talk about the finished product.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the poor child down on Fleming Street or through the Revaux Street, you never pay attention to them. But it is the pathway to a
That's what
better
Pauline Davis-
life.
That's where Pauline Davis
The
come from.
barefoot gal from Fleming Street is what she
Yeah.
says.
Then somebody here said, don't let Vaughn Miller fall by the wayside because he's a police officer now. He's a great athlete. I think, first of all, that's a plug for the masters and seniors.
Ramon.
It's Ramon Miller.
I think
Okay.
that they're referring to Ramon.
Yeah. That's and that's what the dedicated media space does, right? It
Yes.
connects us to all of these people. And if you had it, track and field would have been a serious contender for national sport.
No, we have only seen a tip. I think that the Bahamas genetically is more gifted than anywhere else in the world per capita. I think that's a proven fact.
Because you saying run mountains and hills, right? And you eat yellow yam. Bahamians have to run from shark on the shore. We have to run from mosquito in the bush. We have a even more intense training program than
the pod cakes.
Oh, and the pod cakes.
Don't forget the
pod
pod
cakes.
cakes.
Absolutely. But because we don't have a space that highlights it constantly, people don't make the connections between the ordinary things they do and what grows the track and field world, right? What supports athletes. And the amount of money and energy that the government is committing, track and field specifically, and the energy they're spending attracting partners and donors. This is not just a grassroots thing. Sports has become a national platform of its own.
Yeah. The Bahamas is positioned in such a way that we're not only a producer of the product, we can actually accommodate the product. And what do I mean by that? I'm not only interested in producing wonderful athletes. I think that for sports to grow in this country, there has to be an integration of entertainment, and that's global entertainment. And then we have to begin seriously talking about agencies, sporting agencies that are headquartered in the Bahamas, where we can actually attract athletes within our area to work through the Bahamas, as opposed to North America and Europe.
Hey, man,
that dominates where all the money lie.
I'm almost sure Rich Paul will be down for that.
Well, I've already begun formulating discussions.
Rich Paul and
Clutch management.
Yeah, man. Clutch Sports.
Listen.
That's LeBron's agent.
And I'm thinking, I got to stick a pin. I got a special shout out and a request. I'm sending a message to the one Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
What? Oh, you saw him?
No, I listen this way. I grew up
If you
watching
smell
what the rock is cooking.
Is cooking.
And when you talk about how sports penetrates culture, you watch wrestling with my housekeeper, and Dwayne Rock Johnson was my housekeeper's most favorite wrestler, partially because he was one of the first black wrestlers that she knew, right?
Yeah.
And he just lives on in Bahamian culture. My niece has sent a special request. Report to duty in the Bahamas. First of all, I think you need to pay.
I'm going to make a note of that.
You need to pay a visit to a Catherine International Academy, International School, and say hello to the hardworking students and athletes down there, including my niece, Anu Johnson. And while you're down here, since we have made this relationship with NFL flag football, right?
Football camp tomorrow.
Dwayne Johnson, come down here and explore the potential of bringing your new football league that you're a partner in down to the Bahamas as well.
If not, why not?
Right. Come and check out the potential for facilities and accommodation for spectators and the technological capacity that we have in the region, slightly above some of our other brothers and sisters, to broadcast locally and internationally. Come check the vibe out. I'm gonna tackle you for a second. I mean, let these children tackle you for a second.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's bringing the entertainment to it and growing the platform.
That's it.
Right, and that's what our athletes deserve because they are world class.
You know, that's why people are coming to the Bahamas. There's no wonder why we're bringing the World Relays back to the Bahamas, and it's because of the entertainment component to the event. For the first time, persons are able to see not just a track and field event, but it's like a live party going on in the stands. And we want to be able to recreate the sport and innovate, bring innovation to the sport by introducing some of those elements. And you'll see that next year at the World Relays. So come to a party.
It was 2 relays ago. I think it was 2 relays ago I went to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
So the party was in VIP, boy.
You missed. You missed.
Man, I missed half the relays.
You can stop that foolishness.
Boy, it was
We
one
want y'all to
thing.
be in the stands.
You were right. You were right about the party.
But we do intend to have an after party.
Okay, listen, I am there.
Listen, I just want to
Front
know:
and center.
do I have to do
I can
like?
see it
Do I
if
have
you
to
need
be
it.
able to do 10 push-ups to get into the party? Some of y'all athletes a little.
You ain't no athlete. You are.
No, I am an athlete.
You
So
are
don't be.
athlete foot, but you are a fan.
Boy.
Yes,
And
sir.
we will make space for the fan experience.
Yeah.
In fact, there's talk about a fan zone on the infield during the races. And
Okay.
so I think it's just
Okay,
going to be,
yeah.
you know, a bear garden on the infield, and people,
Okay.
revelers. We're going to have a
Beer
meet-
God, BEER?
Yes.
Oh, well, all right then.
Why ask?
No, I mean, I'm just
No,
saying,
because
you know.
how many bears could you put in one pit?
As I look
for
at you right
safety
now, I just
concerns?
feel like,
But the other
well, I feel
bear-
like you're my dentist. I
It's
just
the
showed
same
my,
question. How many bears could you put in one pit?
I just showed my back teeth right now. You just feel like my dentist right now.
Listen,
Way to go,
I
buddy.
take that back.
No, this
We'll
is.
have fruit punch and
No, that's nice.
Whoa.
Now, I got one quick question for you. Then we're going to give the people the details, what the costs are, the day. And then I got to repeat my trivia question for the day. And then I promised this gentleman here, we got to talk some international sports, and I got to highlight some local headlines. It's been the draft.
The draft
and,
was good last night, yeah.
And we talked last week. It turns out that Chris Paul may be moving for real.
Chris Paul is about to be a warrior.
So LeBron,
Golden State Warrior?
What they saying about LeBron? LeBron is saying that
he's not retiring.
He's going to
not
Golden
retiring.
State.
No. Chris Paul is going to Golden State.
You would
I
imagine.
read a strange article that said that LeBron is going to retire in Golden State.
Yeah,
It's
that's
possible.
fake news. Yeah, that's fake news.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible, but it's not possible.
Because he's not retiring this year, and he's
No,
not
not
retiring
money.
next year either.
No,
we
man.
know this.
He's staying until his son plays in the NBA.
Is he that good? You think he?
He is that good.
He is that
He
good.
still is that good. Yeah, he just got to take better care of his body. Maybe pump $2 million per year, as opposed to the regular pedestrian $1 million that he
Into
currently pumps
post game.
into his body.
Yeah. Wow.
At 24/7 care.
Wow. Listen, producer, take us to a break. You stunned me. I have 8,500 other questions to ask after you said that. But for our local sports aficionados, it gives you a sense of the amount of resources that have to be available to prepare the best athletes and to prepare the best teams for local and international competition.
Funding is a discussion in and of itself.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We talk about the business of sport, but you can't talk about that. You can't have champagne taste in beer bottle pockets, eh?
I mean, unless you know how to make champagne out of eggplants, I can tell you about that in the break, sir. Producer, thank you. Let's Greene. In studio with me today, of course, is Mr. Eric Sawyer III, and the current president of the B3A is Mr. Dramico Archer. We'll be right back.
Girl, why you so sweaty?
Darla getting ready for the Bahamas Games.
Bahamas Games? What that is?
The Games started in 1989 under the then Minister of Sports, Peter J. Bethel, and now Minister Mario Boleg.
When the Games is?
This July 7th to the 15th.
For more info,
Go to www.thebahamasgames.org.
or call 322-1029.
It's that time again! Sign up now for the Michael Scooter and Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic, taking place July 24 to the 30th at the Hope Center and the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Call 601-4842 for more information. Powered by the Bryce Newbold Foundation. It's game time!
I've been everywhere, man.
Janae's Uniform Center. We've traveled to every island in this here land, man. We go everywhere. We can go to every rock and key, Abaco to Inagua, even Ragged Island, The Rock. Celebrate our country's 50th independence with Janae's special limited edition. Sublimated t-shirts and caps in 10 different styles and colors. Get up to 50% off on cotton polo shirts only. Don't forget to embroider your company's logo to celebrate this independence at Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Call 394-8385 or 6. WhatsApp text only 817-3295. Email sales@janae's.com.
I've been everywhere.
And welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene in the Sports Friday. Okay, Mr. Archer, before I transition, and you don't have to go, please stay to talk some more sports with us. Because
Unfortunately, I may have to leave, but I'll stay for as long as I can.
all right, I like to have experts in the conversation to add context to my wild questions and imagination. I got a text here for you, two texts. One says, is that a proven fact about the Bahamas when you say that you think that we have a greater talent pool, right? To pull from than other countries in the region? And then the next text says that local sports aficionados are saying that the world relays are a waste of money. Now, let's start with the latter just very quickly. I think that the hosting the world relays is about creating an environment or creating sort of an identity globally for the Bahamas as a sporting capital. And I think you have to be in the sporting world to see how it operates, to understand the importance of being able to host events. A, B, to be able to host events and provide a space for your athletes to compete in at the international level at home. And what that does when these competitions are accessible at that level because it's in your country.
Yeah. Well, my simple answer to that is this. The economic impact of the World Relays is unknown because there are so many intangible aspects to this. When you talk about hosting an event that has global impact, 214 countries will be present, or the opportunity for 214 countries that make up the community of world athletics will be in the Bahamas. It also gives us an opportunity for host broadcasting of not only athletes that are competing in the Bahamas, but a showcasing of the Bahamas itself.
Yes.
You will spend millions of dollars on 30-second ads for a Super Bowl event, when in fact, we have an opportunity here to not only host, have the economic impact that's on the ground, but you're marketing a product that is marketable in the world of soccer.
Yes.
I'm talking about European soccer.
Yeah.
That's marketing a program in football as we know it, and sports all around the world. So we talk about an industry that I think when you look at the innovation and the unique product of the Bahamas, people come to the Bahamas because it has such an allure that everyone wants to be here, but we have to anchor it to a product. And $10 million that we spend, $5 million, whatever that figure is a drop in the bucket to the return that's available to us.
I always say that. I always say you got to play the long game when it comes to that.
That's a long game, yeah.
Yeah, you play the long
You have to
Absolutely.
be a player.
Yeah.
And I say, for those who trying to figure out, well, how do I make money from it? 204, the potential for 214 countries to participate, which means I could make a souvenir for each country.
Absolutely.
Because somebody gonna want to say, I was in the Bahamas supporting my country. I was in the Bahamas supporting my athlete. There's 214 countries to choose from to focus on.
Here's what the focus is for us. We're not just promoting a track. This idea of having a Bahamian experience, having the opportunity for there to be a Junkanoo festival on the grounds where the world will see more persons per capita in the world will be present here in the Bahamas. Say, I was there. Junkanoo is amazing.
Let's get them.
So it's a parallel event that we're trying to put on that gives you almost like a Disneyland experience that no one has ever seen before.
Absolutely. Thank you so very, very much. That's what I'm thinking when I think about the question. It's a great question, right? And the question we should always be asking, because we should always be interrogating, well, where's
I
the
was just
space
going to
for
say,
me?
I think that level of interrogation sends, I think it instigates more discussion about where the opportunities lie.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go through the details for the Nationals again, starting Wednesday the 5th
Yes?
until Friday the 7th of July. Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, new track or old track?
New track.
What? New track, new shoes, new records.
New records, new shoes, and
We love it.
everything else.
We love the investment.
Yeah.
And I guess I got to transition into NBA and some local sports news now.
Before the games begin, we'll talk more about the Nationals as well as the Bahamas games.
Absolutely.
And what we should expect.
Well, you know, if you bring Guardian Sports reporter Sheldon Longley, who's also a member of the B3A's
Yes.
executive team, with you,
Yes.
I can't block you out. Sports Friday is
You don't
always
got no
a-
choice, eh?
That's right.
Yeah, you know.
And you're definitely both of you are welcome to come to Nationals.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
In
On me.
fact, I am
Oh,
officially.
yeah. I come into the gate and I say, hey,
On
don't
me.
send me away. Hey, Bingo.
I'm officially recommending Mr. Eric Sawyer III to be one of your first B3A's official permanent sports commentators. Right?
Eric, if
When
you're
y'all
interested, we can have a talk about that.
when y'all
We shall
is-
chat.
when y'all establish that particular
No,
unit.
we have this idea of live streaming, and we certainly need talent. And if you are immersed in the sport, then we'd be happy to have you.
We shall chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, we shall chat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me,
Yes, sir.
Always.
and thank you for
Always, bro.
supporting track and field.
Yes, sir. Right, and as you
Thanks
go,
for being here before me.
Well, thank you for your seat.
and as you go, I heard your joke. It was hilarious. I like it, but I am fast. I come from a family of athletics. Stanley Mitchell and Stephen Daddy-O Mitchell.
Is that right?
Both of my uncles. And I'm sure my father was an athlete, and my uncle Ozzy, he's more of a musician, but I'm sure he ran track
Interesting.
a day or
enough,
two.
On my walk into the studio, I was talking to Stanley.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you,
Drumiko
Eric, for
Archer,
having
and
me.
we welcome the B3As in studio anytime.
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. Sawyer,
Yeah.
we got some news to talk about.
Good seeing you, man. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, most definitely.
The basketball schedule is set for the Bahama Games. You can go to the Guardian on 20th of June to read that story. 10 men's teams, 6 women's teams, right? It's going to be exciting because the people who follow the NBA are also following the Bahama Games. But listen, this NBA talk is exciting. First of all, the draft.
But the Spurs just get lucky every 20 years.
Now, what do you mean when you okay? It's
Every
lucky
20
that
years, man.
lucky that Wembanyama.
We practice off here.
Yeah, Wembanyama. I like Wemby. That he was the first pick.
He was in this pool, and they were lucky. Well, I mean, they were lucky they got the first pick. They was actually fighting to get in the play-in. They were there up until the last 2 days or so. So it wasn't like they had the best opportunity to get the first pick.
Okay, I got you.
It just so happens that, David Robinson back in 87, I think.
Yeah.
He spent more than 20 years. Then you draft
Tim
Duncan in 97.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you got what's the French boy?
Now you have Wemby.
No, but before Wemby, they had
you're talking about a transcendent player.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Parker is good, and Ginobili was great, but I'm talking about a transcendent player, like a franchise player.
Right.
This is now 3 straight franchise players over the last 30 years.
Right, 19 years old from
40
France.
years.
He has he's 7 foot tall.
7'4".
7'4". He dominated the French league in his final season there. Can he live up to the hype? And more importantly, does he have the body the weight?
That's what I'm most concerned about, because if Draymond hit him in the side when he's trying to post up in the lane, and get him good, because Yao Ming was also taller than most players in the NBA, and he played very well. He made himself a Hall of Fame career, yes, but he also spent a lot of time on the ground because Shaq put him there.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Yeah, that's my.
Hopefully, because at 7'4", I mean, he's probably as wide as that door, but when it comes to the height, it just
Yeah, so I'm thinking
in the post, he may get used and abused just a little.
On the face of it, this looks like an excellent pick.
Yeah, of course. He's
But if you don't
7'4",
have the right
can
chemistry,
handle the ball, has great court vision, great speed.
Yeah.
Not afraid to dunk on the rim, can shoot a 3-point shot. Like, he's an anomaly. He's a unicorn, but he's also pretty frail at 7'4".
a very big risk, and you're going to need the correct team composition. You're going to have the right defenders on your team, not just to defend the ball against the other team, but to protect him.
Yeah, to protect him. Yeah, because he's going to be a rim protector and only a rim protector.
Absolutely.
If he goes out too far on those long limbs that he has, he's liable to twist an ankle, sprain a knee, or worse.
Oh boy! And I think of a Davis. Davis, great potential, but can't pull it through in the clutch.
Injury prone.
Now listen, I got to get back to this trivia question. I'd thrown a trivia question out there. I think we had got a couple of callers that didn't have wallets. What team does Jazz Chisholm play for? In the MLB, the Major League Baseball, what team star Jazz Chisholm?
I suppose
No, you can't answer that yet. That's for the trivia.
Okay.
That's for the trivia.
Okay,
I'm going to throw the second question out, same time, one time. First question, what team does Jazz Chisholm play for? Second question, Shawnee Miller, who we referenced today, successfully defended her 2016 Olympic title at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, in which race?
That ain't for me to answer.
No.
Okay.
I know you know the answer.
Okay.
Shawnee successfully defended her 2016 Olympic title at Tokyo 2020 Olympics, in which race? And the first question, what MLB team does Jazz Chisholm play for? You can only answer one of the questions. Now, numbers to call 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. In the Bahamas, but not New Providence, 242-300-5720 is toll free. Now, to the potential trades.
Yeah, Chris Paul is now a Warrior. Bradley Beal is now a Sun. Kristaps Porzingis is now a Celtic. Marcus Smart is now a Grizzly. Yeah, it's been a busy week.
So what is Paul and the subsequent trade? The guy,
To the Warriors?
Right. What does that mean for Durant and Ayton?
Nothing really. It just means that the Warriors now are going to be a team that has 2 separate set of offenses. Because when Chris Paul is in the game, he's a prototypical old school point guard. He runs pick and roll.
Yeah.
He doesn't run the new school system of run down, spread out, pick downs on the screen out, so that way you get the pick and pops for Steph and Clay.
So they
He
got
doesn't
an
play that kind of
opposition
ball.
for every team they have to play.
Right. So you just gonna have to practice that with Chris Paul. Now the only thing is on defense, Chris Paul is 18 years in the league. He's a bit slower. He can be shaken off of his feet. So and he makes them a little bit smaller because they traded, Jordan Poole, who's a bit faster.
Yeah.
Not necessarily as strong, but definitely has more quickness than Chris Paul. So they gave up something and they got something. Chris Paul, of course, has been starting his entire career. He won't start for the Warriors. He can come off the bench. That's a surety. He ain't gonna start over Clay, and he definitely ain't gonna start over Steph. So
Why not? This is Chris Paul.
this is all right. Chris Paul is a great player, decorated 12-time All-Star, All-NBA, blah blah blah. No rings.
So would this suggest that the reason why the Suns didn't make it to the finals?
No. I mean, Chris Paul was a wizard, because he was traded from the Suns to the Wizards in exchange for Bradley Beal. That was Monday, I think.
Okay.
So now this trade happened Wednesday.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
From him going, so he don't have a house or nothing. He probably didn't even fly into DC, and now he's traded from DC to Golden State.
How does this make players feel? Like
It's a business, and I saw a story. Dwayne Wade was being interviewed by Shannon Sharp last week, and he said he had to understand the business of basketball in order to come back and pull for the Miami Heat and even come back and play for them a second time.
Yeah.
After he thought he was going to get a contract extension, and they told him to drop dead because he was too old, and the monies that you
are demanding.
You were demanding based on your time here, championships won, and all of the other accolades.
You're not producing it.
We're not going to pay you that because we have to develop newer talent.
Yeah.
So he felt slighted by that because, of course, Jordan got his $30 million per year. Kobe got his $30 million per year, in the last years of their playing
But
career.
Dwayne Wade is
without injury. Dwayne Wade, he'd be in the conversation right now of top shooting guards. Of course, everybody can say, and rightfully so, it's Jordan. But he'd be number two. There'd be no Kobe at number two as a shooting guard if Dwayne Wade was able to continue to play ball at the level that he was playing ball between 2006 to 2005 maybe and 2009. But leg injuries, knee injuries, and the like, short changed that. It derailed that.
Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So any other big upsets? We're all out of time. Any other?
Oh, by the way,
yeah.
Good morning to Denise Mortimer, former National Director for the Governor General Youth Award Program, also known as the Duke of Edinburgh back in your day.
Absolutely.
I saw her yesterday. She said she listens every day.
Awesome.
Yeah, she listens
You guys
every day.
check out, I think it is the Nassau.
Morning, Ms. Mortimer.
I think it is the Nassau Tribune, but check both the Nassau Tribune and the Guardian for the article on, I think, the first GGYA golf tournament in partnership with Atlantis.
It was on the news. It was on the
Yeah,
news
yeah,
2
yeah.
nights ago, yeah.
Yeah, you guys check that out. Also, I got to say a quick shout out. It's just a slight bit of nepotism since I call in family names this morning.
Yeah, man, you doing it.
I got this last story. Flamingos Women's Golf Club, 242 marks. Women's Golf Day. The club turned the celebration into a month. They're hailing women who are trailblazers in the sport. They honored a number of women, including Georgette Roll Harris, founder of 14 Clubs, Inc., which includes about 100 skilled tournament golfers as well as some 800 juniors from public schools. I think that's in the United States of America. But I also want to send a shout out to national team members and golf administrators that were highlighted during the week. My good cousin Anya Charles, Fran Dillett, who should be my cousin, and Beryl Higgs, and posthumously Muriel Eneas, Eloise Lockhart Pinder, Jerry Smith, Yvonne Shaw, and Betty Stubbs were recognized. And we can't forget Paula Newchurch Cooper. She was celebrated as a repeat outstanding member of the CAGC George Teal Team Cup, but she accomplished the feat of being the only female player to make a hole-in-one on a par 4 hole at the former Cable Beach golf course.
Yeah, par 4, but I kind of far,
Yeah, good morning, ladies. Y'all keep,
par 4 and a par 3.
You know why I got to celebrate the golfers? You know how difficult it is to knock a mango out of the tree with a rock,
Okay.
but a golfer with a properly timed swing. That's a mango lover's best friend.
All out. Oh,
Yes, sir.
Everything on the ground.
Yes, sir. Anyway, Mr. Sawyer, thank you for joining me
Yeah, man.
this morning.
It was
I
a
got a
pleasure.
couple of text answers to the questions, but unfortunately, the texters didn't have digital wallets. So do me a favor, guys. This weekend, today, your lunch break,
Yeah, I might go get one.
right? Go to a check them out. Quality Markets in Cable Beach. The vendors there will be glad to help you set up a wallet, and then you could call in and win some money on the clock with Erin Greene. You guys have a great day. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry is up next.
Have a great day, Bahamas.